Still initializing.
Here we are. We are live. Welcome back. It's Thursday night, and it's Real Talk with Kevin Brock at
7 o'clock. We are right
7
on the
o'clock.
money for you guys. How about that? Thank you, Stony Stone, for making this happen. Oh, what do we've got for you guys tonight? A great show. It's going to be exciting. We're going to recap what we did all last week and what's coming up here in the future and what's going to happen, and talk a little bit about a few things from kokanee to king salmon to some catfish we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about some rods and reels. And so you just kind of hang out a little bit with us and we'll rock and roll from there. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool. We're back from the ISE show. And I got back from the ISE show, unpacked, unloaded, restocked. And now I'm in Texas, Stony.
You are in Texas. You just can't sit still, can you?
I am in Texas right now as we speak. It was a long flight today. We've got some business to do over here, some family to be with, and some things that basically God's leading us to do, and so we're just moving that direction. So yeah, we yesterday I was the day before yesterday we were unpacking from the show. And let's just jump right into the show. And what do I mean by the show? Everybody, the International Sportsman's Expo, you heard us talk about it for a couple of weeks. And bounced you around a little bit there. And my voice isn't too bad, so I won't have to drink too much water. Let me get this thing centered back again a little bit. There we go. And you were there with me. We
We
were there.
were.
And, the buzz of the California season, 2026. Here we go. We had seminars and lots of people there. We had radio, we had TV. We were even on the national news station popped up, came by and saw us, and so did some stuff with us there. Charlie was Channel 31 out of Sacramento. That was cool. A lot of support, a lot of people coming by, a lot of rod sales. In fact, as things go for a sportsman's show, it's been one of the best I've seen since in California anyway, since COVID, hands down, hands down. So I think just people are just back and ready to rock and roll and let's go fishing. Let's catch some fish, and people are catching fish around and talking fishing and excited about fishing, and stripers is a big time, big thing, a big topic right now, and that's all coming up. That's all coming up. You can catch fish, in the rivers right now. Not tons of them, but there's fish in the river from. I mean, all the way when I talk rivers, I'm talking the Sacramento River, the American River, the Yuba River. There's stripers in all of those. Sacramento River, and I said that one. Feather River is what the one I
Yep.
did. Um, and they're not in the big schools like they'll be in April, but there's lots and lots of resident fish and fish going up and fish coming down. And wintertime, this time of year, if you're going to target any type of striper fishing, there's a couple things you can do to be successful. One is when the water's cold and the temperature's cold, you can soak bait. So what do I mean by soak bait? You can put an anchovy on there, you can put a sardine on there, you can put any type of bait, chicken liver on there,
Chicken liver.
which works. Chicken liver works good. You add a little bit of kick 'em a pow for some catfish. Um, we'll talk about this when you get into your segment about catfishing because there were some cool guys that were talking about catfishing on Orville and different things. Hey, Dave Mayo, how are you? Good evening. I'll shout out to people that jump on there. Hey, Manuel, how are you doing, buddy? Good to see you on with us. Um, we're just getting into the striper thing. So even now, I'm getting reports from friends who are going out fishing even top water. The water's starting to clear up a little bit, but soaking bait, soaking weight is what it is. Get on a corner, get in a deep hole, throw a big old chunk of smelly fish out there, whether it's a sardine or anchovy. You can use a heavy leader, like a 3/0 hook is good. You use a couple ounces of weight and wait them out, and something's going to come by and pick it up. And it could be a 25 pounder, it could be a 25 incher, but there's going to be some fish. Yeah, hey, you bet. There's going to be some fish that that pick that up and find that right now. They're really hungry. Their bellies are bellies are empty, and they're looking for fish. So they're looking for fish, crawdads, anything that they can eat on the bottom or on top or anywhere for the stripers, anywhere for that matter. So all you got to do is just kind of find them, cover some water, throw to gravel bars, but go into those deep holes because right now they're not looking to spawn, so they're going to go into some deep holes and hang out. Go to those deep holes, hang out, jig for them. But glide baits right now, I mean, wintertime, you can catch some monster fish on glide baits. Um, and that's working all the way down in the Delta, too. There's tons of fish in the Delta. So striper fishing this winter has been one of the best seasons I've seen in a while. No, it's all right, Joe. No problem. You're not late. You're right on time, buddy. We're online, so you can jump in anytime. But we were talking about striper fishing, and right now that it's just still been so good, still been so good. Now all the way down, I was talking with Alan Fong the other day, and guys, they're killing them in the Delta.
Yeah.
So it's just another great year, and guys are jigging for them, trolling for them, but casting those glide baits or big 6-inch swim baits is just really the ticket right now.
And you've got some big 6-inch swim baits and 4 inches and 2 inches, and you got all kinds of swim baits.
We got swim baits, yeah, no, and any swim bait will work. It's just ours have been proven. That's all. Just because we've been using them, and that's the ones we make, and so it's not a gimmick thing. Everyone's like, "Oh man, you're giving away your secrets," and there are no secrets. You learn things over time, and you share them with people. And I learn things, just like how else would I learn them? I'm being out on the water all the time, and someone says, "Hey, try that one," or "Try this." I go out and try it, and then you modify it and make it your own from there. And that's
Right.
what's great about life. Whatever the idea you take, you can bend it, tweak it, and make it your own, and be like, "Yeah, I did this, and that's why I'm catching more fish." So striper fishing, yeah, bottom line is they eat, and you just got to find them, and they like to eat other fish. So if you got something that looks like another fish, and my 6-inch swim baits are custom, I made the mold. There's not another one out there like it. And if you cast them in the water and look at them, they wobble back and forth. This is the tail. This is the head of the swim bait. And if you flip it around, the tail is wiggling on the backside. So you got the wobble on the top, and it's the ideal wintertime swim bait because you don't have to burn it as fast. What do I mean by burn it fast? I mean by you got to reel it really fast to keep the tail going. The front, you can reel it slow, and the front wobbles and the tail wobbles because that's just the way I designed it. I worked a long time on that, made a lot of molds, spent a lot of money. And again, it's unique. I'm not boasting my swim bait. They all work, but we use ours out there. All right. Hey, Barbara, thanks for being on there. Oh, I caught one of my biggest stripers with you. Awesome. Thank you, sweetheart. Yep. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, I love catching big stripers with everybody out there. Appreciate you guys jumping in and letting us know online there. But glide baits right now, big swim baits, the 6-inch ones. Go for the big ones, or big old Zora spooks or pencil poppers, big old ones on top. They will crash them down, and they're fun to fish too, and you can cover a lot of water. So, yeah, hey Andy, how you are? Glad you're online with us there. I can on this program, Tony, I can see everybody's comments that are popping up. Yeah. So
Much better on a computer than it is your phone.
yeah, we do the best we can do. Sometimes all we got is the phone, to pull it off, and we're getting better at this. And we had a lot of great. We'll rewind here. We want to say thank you to everybody out there because we had so many people, so much positive interaction. Thanks for the reports. Thanks for this. Thanks for that little extra tip. That helped us. Thanks for coming there and doing a seminar. Thanks for giving us a good deal. Thanks for throwing in some extra tackle. That's what we do. We're kind of giving back. And, well, I'm just going to say it. Stoney and I talked about it a little bit, and it may catch on or not. But I kind of look at the fishing industry, and anybody who's in it, I'm not saying anything bad about you, so don't take this the wrong way. But say the retail, fishing industry, and the whole big mass production of stuff and different things like that, right? Yeah, yeah, Andy, we got some rods for you, buddy. We got some rods. So yeah, we sold not thousands, but we sold over
Close
500
to.
rods. Yeah, yeah, over 500 rods at the show. It was just awesome. Hey, Kyle, glad to see you, buddy. Thanks for jumping on with us. Um, we're kind of like we're we're kind of like, oh yeah, you bet. Thank you. Yeah, we're getting lots of good comments, lots of people jumping on with us here. So the tackle industry has gotten, kind of like, you know, the big pharmaceutical. They make a lot, and the guys on top are making a lot, and they're making a lot of money. And I mean by like big companies,
Right.
and they're producing it. Well, in that big company, it's not their fault, but they've got so many employees and so many different things. Maybe those people aren't involved in fishing. They're doing a job. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But then those products are sold or shipped across or made here, wherever, but they're sold to a warehousing place, maybe a distributor. Well, everybody's got to make a piece of the pie as they sell and come through. So, for instance, a lure that costs $5 to make, maybe by the time it gets to the retail store after it goes through 3 or 4 people, maybe it's $20. Well, we're fishermen, we ain't rich. We're doing podcasts and we're doing the best we can do. And just like everybody else, I mean, sometimes we're weekend warriors. Sometimes, $20 for a lure, you buy 5 lures, that's $100.
Right.
That's a full tank of gas. That's a lot. But you want those lures. What we've been able to do, I've been able to do with help from people like you, Stoney, and other different people in the industry, is get them for a great price and take the risk. And what do I mean by take the risk? Whatever money I had, I threw into it knowing that product was good. And you know what? We're going to sell it because we know that product's, because we believe in it. It's not a gimmick. It's not an infomercial. It's not a 2:00 at night, the banjo minnow thing, whatever. Not that. These products I've used while guiding, and I'm only going to use the products that I know work good because I got to catch fish for my clients so they keep coming back, right?
Right.
So what we are is we're like, the Robin Hood and Little John of the whole fishing industry. I would say fishing manufacturing industry, because the fishing industry is pretty awesome. The fishing manufacturing is like, here's 24 colors, here's all these SKUs. They're going to come out with new colors, and it's just all sales. It's all based off numbers. But we're like, no, don't buy this now. Don't buy the 6-inch swim bait, during the fall because it doesn't work very good. Buy it now or use this one now because it's better. And you know what? You don't have to pay $20 for it. You can pay $5 for it.
Right.
And people are like, how are you selling this stuff so cheap? Because I'm not selling it to the distributor. I'm not going for the big hit. I'm doing it the hard way. We are pounding the pavement. We're giving it to people. I'm making these swim baits myself. Me and my wife, we're making these swim baits ourselves, pouring them at night after guiding so we can get them down to $1 a piece for people. And people are buying 10, 20, 30 at a time. Well, if you got 20 swim baits for $20, you buy some heads, you go out and you can fish for the weekend on that. Right on. I've been there, man. I've been there. I've scraped to be able to go fishing. But now you got the product that works and you didn't spend all this extra money on stuff that doesn't work for the area that you're going to. So that's what we're doing. So we're not so much stealing from anybody. I know, man. Frank's on there. He's like, I need some of your striper jigs. I made those striper jigs too. And they're cheap and they work awesome. But we're not stealing from anybody, but it's like we're taking something in the industry that my lure would normally cost $20 if it went through the manufacturer, the distributor, the wholesaler, the rep, and then the retailer, right? Everyone's got to have their cut. So now it's $20. I'm selling it for $5. I'm making $1 or $2 on it because I'm risking my income, my investment, because I know it works. I'm not buying 25 colors. I'm not making 25 colors. You don't need 25 colors. I make a living fishing. You don't need 25 colors, but you do need a certain 3 or 4.
Right.
You got to have a few. You got to have some muddy water ones, and you got to have some clear water ones. So let's talk about that. In muddy water, when we're fishing swim baits and it's murky, talk about fishing swim baits, glide baits, the bone color, the opaque. What is opaque? Opaque is solid, a solid color, solid whites, solid chartreuses, something big. So what do you want? White and chartreuse for muddy water. Maybe you should have some chartreuse and white. Maybe you might want to mix it up and put some white and chartreuse. But either way you flip it, you got to have some white and chartreuse for muddy water. That's it. Yeah, there are other ones at times that's going to outfish, but that's your basic, right? Clear water. They love red. The stripers love red. All those whites with red tails on them. Oh my goodness. The red head deep diving striper bait. It's awesome. Clear water, the blues, the reds, something light. So whenever you go, rule of thumb, the darker the water, the brighter the bait. Where's my thumbs? There they are. The brighter the bait. So, and what do I mean by dark water? If it's colored, if you can't see past your prop or it looks right, you got to use something brighter and opaque, solid, not transparent, nothing like that. Solid. They can see that solid going through better. White chartreuse. It doesn't get any easier than that. Right. So, and then, you can fish those all the time, but then it gets clear and you might want to do like a pearl, like a lighter, or what we call like a white trash. Super popular. Oh man, that's a good one. Check that one out. That's a good one that I do. And then you got, your standard just white one, your pearls, your whites, and then a little bit of white trash. So dark water, light colored water, go lighter baits. That you stick with that rule of thumb, and that'll be great. I'm going to read a few of these comments coming in because I just keep blasting in, and I don't want to ignore anybody. And I appreciate everybody. I know Frank says, "Hey, I got to get some of your jigs. We got them. We got them online, and they got them at the tackle box. And here in the next month, they're going to be everywhere because everybody's asking for them. So check those out, or call me, and I'll get you and send you some." Robert says, "Hey, thanks for doing some of the colors that just work around our area and not selling out 25, 28 colors and things like that, And then, then we got, thanks, Stoney, for hooking me up with the booth with some plugs. So, Stoney, you're being thanked, and yep. John, hey, great rods. I've got a few mini fish caught. Thank you so much. So these are this interaction that we're getting for people from using our stuff, and this isn't an infomercial. This isn't about, I got to still book trips. We ain't making our house payments based off lure sales. But
here's the cool thing is a comment. You got Devin Lake on here, asking what's your opinion on rattle traps, something in dirty water or something with a rattles, yeah. Right? But Devin's a guide, and Devin's calling in to your podcast, so that's amazing. Appreciate
and Devin, in dirty water, as long as the fish aren't real spooky, as long as it's not super warm water, rattles are money. Rattles are great, and some of my plugs, the brighter plugs, have rattles in them. You can add rattles to them. And swim baits, you can insert a little glass rattle to them and jig them on that kind of stuff. So anything in muddy water, once you have that solid frame, your glide baits, those have some rattles in them. Your top water, clink, 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 clink. It's got rattle. It's attracting. There's something going on there. So yeah, I love rattles. When I'm throwing in dirty water with stripers that I found where I'm at in the rivers where I'm fishing, I didn't see it make a huge difference. I didn't on my swim bait, and I'm talking swim baits now. On my lures, I like the rattles in them. I think it helps. But on the swim baits, I put glass rattles in them, and I inserted some in them, and it just seemed like it didn't make a difference. That big paddle tail, that big thump, 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 thump of the tail, and that big swim bait was enough. It didn't need a rattle in it. But it doesn't hurt on your lures. Rattles do not hurt, And then we got a question about, hey, what about putting scents on your swim baits. All right? Stripers love to chase, but when the water gets dirty, and if they can't see it to chase it, I mean real dirty, almost wet, put scent all over your swim bait. You bet. You bet. But here's the thing about scents we got to be careful with is you put scent on it, and especially if you use the different sticky gels and things like that, it's great stuff. I'm not knocking it, but it will stick to your lure. And later on, if you put it back in your tackle box or you leave it somewhere, that stuff will all go bad. That scent, most of it's real ground up, different types of shrimp or anchovy or whatever scent you're using, which makes it so good. Procure's got some awesome stuff. But if you leave it on there, it'll go rancid, it'll go bad. So if you put it on your lures, like my trolling lures, right? So we fish a 6-inch shoal. I'm in Texas right now. We just landed a few hours ago. We got to do some stuff up here, and then we'll be back. But on my Yozuris or my deep diving plugs or my Rebels or the ones I make, they all work. But I put the scent on the rubber worm, right? So I put the scent on the rubber worm. That way, after I'm using it, boom, I can take it off. But just don't put your lure back in the box or leave it within the day without washing it. And Robert just comes down here. He responds and he says, yeah, he washes his lures off with Joy soap at the end of the day before he puts them away. And we've been using Joy, Liquid Joy for years on our stuff. Just some warm water, wash them up real quick, rinse them, hang them up to dry. Dish soap, Dawn works too, but be careful, Dawn's strong. So you got to be careful. You don't want to take the finish off your lures. Don't scrub them. Just with your hand, just get a little soap bath there, dip them, get that. If you're using scent on your lure, get that scent off there. Swim baits, you can get it off there, but it will mess them up after a while. But hey, if they're $1 a piece, who cares? Put scent all over them and toss one away at the end of the day and put another one on. So then you're ready to roll. So, but never leave scent on a lure and then go back and fish it. It will hurt you more than it will help you.
So Devin's question on rattles. So one thing that I use in the river myself is when we're bait fishing, whether I'm doing anchovy, sardine, chicken liver, whatever it is, we're fishing with bait. I'll actually put line rattles on my line, and I will hook up more striper with just a line rattle and a piece of anchovy, and it's all you need sometimes. And especially in that dirty water, that line rattles will definitely get their attention.
One of my buddies, he caught tons of stripers. It's so cool. He doesn't listen to the podcast because he doesn't go online, so he's not going to know that I'm going to say this. And this is okay. He won't be mad anyway. But he used to use a brass weight. Yeah. Still does. So he puts a brass on there, and then he puts a glass bead. It's called brass and glass. You bass fishermen know about this, about a Carolina rig. Okay? And he would just sit there and pop his rod, and you could literally, if it was calm, you could listen and you could hear that thing click, 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 click. You could hear it clicking, make a noise. Those fish would be just like, they would hone right in. And I left one rod out just testing. And I did this 3 or 4 different times and never shook it. It caught some fish. But the bait that was having that little click, click, click. Now, again, we're talking dirty water. Okay? Dirty water situation, cold water situation. Fishing bait for stripers. But that click, 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 or that little bit of rattle, like you said, inline rattles, you can put them on your weight, you can put them above your weight, anything on your Slido will get more fish. I watched it with my own 2 eyes. I wouldn't have believed it. I would have been like, maybe it'll help. But I saw it. And it would be vicious strikes too. If he clicked, and he would just held his rod all day. He didn't put it in the rod holder. Click, 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 click. It was a wrist got all of a sudden thump, yo. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. I mean, that's pretty cool. So yeah, Ryan, thanks for checking in. Hey, he loves the K-Brock rods. We appreciate your support on them. We actually put a lot of time. We put years in development on these things, and then years of me guiding, staring at rod tips, and so that's kind of cool. Yeah. So Joe goes out, and I'm going to put down what you put down. And this is awesome, Joe. And here, Joe, let me know if you want me to share this with everybody. Send it if that's okay with you. But Joe went out and fished some bait, and I'm not going to tell where he went because I don't know if he wants me to share that or not. But he was out on the river. He was fishing in the river, and it was cold and slow. But sardines was the ticket. Some small ones, and they got a bunch of keepers too. So right on, way to go. He went out and he went fishing, and he got them. And that's what's going on right now. You can get a lot of fish. You can get a lot of fish, but soaking bait right now is great. Now I have a sardine cure. Again, I'm not trying to sell everything. It sounds sometimes like an infomercial, but we're just giving out information. We're just giving out information that helps catch more fish, really.
Yeah. And Joe's comments are public, so everybody's seeing them.
Okay, gotcha. All right. I didn't know, and I want to make sure. I never want to.
Yep. You don't want to burn someone's spot.
To someone if they're commenting. If you tell me something, I'll never tell someone else unless you tell me, "Hey, that's okay to do." So that's a cool deal.
Yep. No, it's Joe's gotten into the catfish scene, which is cool. Seeing him out there, he's already registered for the next tournament, so it's awesome to see these guys getting out there.
Yeah, well, that's great. Frank jumped in there. Roy, yeah, love you sharing God's word. It's I don't even know where to start with that. That's one of the comments here, and yeah, I mean, I can get emotional about it. I can get sentimental. I mean, it sends me all different ways, but it's just where my heart is, and God gave me another chance. And I believe in God. And so sometimes people go through things. There was a guy, I did a seminar, and this is where you never know if you're not helping someone out. And if you just feel something on your heart, we put up a verse, and it was just about, we did a 45-minute seminar, and I literally took a minute. It wasn't even a minute. It was 10 seconds. And I just read a verse that helped me when I was going through some tough times. And we all go through tough times. We all go through crap. We're trying to deal with something, find it out financially, physically, emotionally. I mean, we all go through, that's life. But we all come together because, of fishing, for the love of fishing, for the love of the next bite, for the Robin Hood story. We all love that, I mean, because that's we're all part of that. So I say this out. One of the guys comes up to me at the end, and he wrote the verse down. He said, "Yeah, thanks for sharing that, because I was going through hard times and I was kind of feeling alone." I'm like, "Man, brother, you're not alone. You're not alone at all. We all go through stuff." And I think that's what's so neat about going through hardships. At the time, you don't think it's neat. Right. You're laying there. But you go through it and you pull out and you pull through a hard thing and you go, "Man, I couldn't have done that without God, or I couldn't have done that without prayer, or I couldn't have done that without other people's help." And then there you go. There you go. You share it to other people. We did a post. Yeah, Kyle, great seeing you at the show too, buddy. Great seeing you. Kyle's just a big time, great fisherman, good guy. He's also using our rods now. We sold. Now, I'm not giving them away to guys to where I can't give them away because they cost me some money. Other guides, Goodwin's guys, Kyle Wise, I mean, Nate's using them. We can go right on down the line, and we've got probably from Alaska all the way here over 40 guides now using our rods that all bought them. We didn't give it to them to where they're like, "Oh, cool, I got something free." They bought them because they were good rods and they got good customer service. So that's kind of cool. I'm kind of stoked about that because that's what I did it for. That's exactly what I did it for. And it's just rolling off to everybody else.
Yeah. Now, one housekeeping thing, there's people online, and because we are streaming in multiple locations, not just on Facebook, but we're streaming on YouTube. So thank you guys for watching. There's comments that we see on our side that, if you're on Facebook, you'll see comments if you're on YouTube, but you won't see both sets of comments. So as Kevin's seeing them come up, he'll try to address them, but they don't cross transfer between the two sites, but we can see them. So keep the comments coming. It's awesome feedback. Appreciate that.
We'll do the best we can do. And if you got questions, we'll address them right in the middle of telling the story, because that's just what we do. It's all fine. It's part of what we're doing.
Yep. And I added a link to the line rattles that I get on Amazon. They're nothing special. They're just a basic line rattle. You can get them at any tackle shop, but they're little plastic little line rattles. You slide on your line, and they work great.
They do work in muddy water in those kind of conditions. They do work. I saw it with my own eyes, not once, not twice, but a bunch of times. In fact, I started using them. Back to the sardines, for you, Joe, and things like that. If you ever get sardines that aren't great, what I mean by that is they're kind of mushy or something. I do have a cure that helps with that. Just because there would be years that we would get sardines guiding and they wouldn't hold on real good, and they just mush out and bleed out real fast. And you just shake a little bit of the sardine cure on there. So you don't need to use a lot. Not only will it toughen them up a little bit, it'll enhance the smell and it'll make them last a little bit longer, and you'll be happier with your baits. And tons of guys use that.
And we use it a lot.
Tons of guys use that. It's a good product. It's a product I developed over 20 years ago, and I kept it basically secret. I just didn't, I didn't give it out to sell or anything. When I was in Alaska, when we couldn't get good sardines, and the sardines we got were frozen and well, they all end up being frozen, but I mean freezer burnt or double frozen, and it was just crap. You try to cut them and put them on there, and it would just be mush. Right. And I'm like, I got to develop something. So I did some research on what salmon like, what tightens up some flesh on a sardine, how to kind of cure it, but not make it to where it's so cured like it's preserved. You don't want to preserve it, right? Because if it's preserved, it's no good. It'll look great on the shelf, but it won't smell. Again, sardines are what? The smell. They're going after the smell. They're finding the smell. They want to eat that. So the better it smells, the more they're going to eat it. That's how it goes. Bottom line, we've talked about that before. If it smells good, you're going to take a bite. You're like, right on. You walk in the house and, Anthony jumps in. We carry the sardine cure on his boat. I carry it on my boat. And I know of at least 35, 40 guys out there that all carry it on their boat there. Hey, Warren, how are you? Glad to see you. Anthony, thanks for jumping in.
So I do have a question on scent. This has come up before when it comes to striper. I heard something, and you can help validate, I heard that they do not like garlic.
All right, for stripers. Now, back when Bang came out, we used to spray the garlic Bang all over everything. Mm-hmm. But that was down in the lower delta. Now, when we got up in the upper river, it didn't seem to work as good. Now, Bang, I don't know if it's changed or not, but Bang, I used to use it. Bang works great.
Right.
It's like just a spray oil base slick 'em thing on there, and it works good. Yeah. I was just reading comments. So no, Joe, we're not. It asked if the Chico shop, the tackle box is open on Sundays. We're not. But if you need to come through, let me know. Text me, and I'll get a hold of someone over there. If you need bait or you need something, we can get it to you. Someone can open the door for you and get it to you. I mean, that's again what we do. I'm going to be out of state, but we'll be coming back. But Sunday we're not open this Sunday. So, but we will be.
Take care of you. They'll take care of you.
Yeah, get a hold of me somehow, some way, and we'll set it outside. We'll put it in the mailbox. We'll put it next door at the bar. We'll put your name on it, and you grab it and pay me later. I don't care. Just as long as if you want it, we'll get it to you. So we do that a lot for people. It's kind of cool. So yeah, back to the garlic. In my striper sardine cure, I do not use any garlic. So there you go.
There's your answer. And that answers that.
Yeah, there you go. And there'll be a lot of people that say, "Oh, I've got fish on garlic scent before and stuff like that," but I don't use it. I fish a lot of rods in a lot of situations, a lot of days, not a few days, a lot of days, and it just doesn't fish as good.
Right. Yep. Now we're talking striper. Now we start talking catfishing. Yep. Oh yeah, I love the
hold on, no. We're just talking stripers in the river, delta, things like that. Whole different thing.
Yeah,
whole different thing. And then that catfish, the kick 'em a pow. People were picking that stuff up too, pretty good. And that worked with you. We put some cool catfish stuff in there. And that was cool. And then Warren's kokanee corn, it flew off the shelf. We're getting calls from guys. I just sold 4 cases to another tackle store. So wow. Warren's got to get done making it.
He's already sold out.
I'm not making it. Warren's making it, the poor guy. So we're going to have to figure out how to do like, a big old cement truck full of, a cement truck full of corn and figuring it out how to do it. Because Warren's the master. Warren's the mastermind behind that, I got another question online. Do I ever put scent on live bait? I do not. I don't. And there's a couple reasons why. The scale's got to move. Now, night crawlers, yes. For trout, I will inject. So if that's what we're talking about, live bait, but we were kind of on the topic of stripers. So I don't put scent on. I don't put scent on my live bait. I don't. I like it. I like it moving. I think they stay alive better without scent on them. Probably you could put a little on the tail, but if he's chasing a live bait and he's that close to it, it's not going to matter if you have scent on the tail or not. Right. Yeah, and I fish a lot of minnows. I fish a lot of live bait for stripers, and I don't. Joe's got a comment in here. WD-40 old school. You're right. You're right, Joe. The old school guys, and I was one of them that would spray all my lures now with WD-40, salmon fishing and striper fishing. It worked. They've changed the formula. It used to be just cod oil. Now it's gone to more synthetic. And California, look at your laws because I don't think you're supposed to use it in California, so I can't promote that on the show and live. But back when we could, and back when the old school WD-40 was all cod oil based, it worked and it helped. Right. I don't know about now if it does any good or not, but I know the old stuff used to, for sure, man. Yeah, Devin's got a question here, and it's a good question, because we're talking about stripers. He says, down in the Delta, not in the river, there's a lure out there called the Whopper Plopper. It's awesome. It's so cool. It's this big old pop, 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 pop. It's like a big Zora spook with a big old propeller, buzzbait style type thing, prop on the back, and it just makes all kinds of noise. And it just plump, 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 plump. Yeah, Warren throws it in. Yeah, WD-40 was cod liver oil. Yeah. And when they used the cod, that was good. I don't know if I think they went to synthetic, and it's not as good as anymore. But, back to, or all kinds of comments here. We're going to keep up with everybody, and we appreciate this. If I could drop it down. There we go. In the Delta, the Whopper Plopper seems to work good. And those fish in the Delta are chasing more shad. They're chasing squawfish. They're doing more. But we get up in the river, and it seems like the Whopper Plopper doesn't work as good. More the Zora Spooks or pencil poppers work because the Zora Spooks, the pencil poppers, the top waters, the big swim baits, the big glide baits, they pause. And when they get up in the river, they're not seeing as many different baits. There's trout, there's squawfish, there's suckerfish, there's baby salmon going down. There's all different things. The Whopper Plopper on top, you can still catch some fish on it, but they ignore it more. But you throw out a Zora Spook and walk it back and forth and then pause it, walk it back and forth, pause it. That pause seems to make them jump on it more. The glide in the river seems to work better than the plop, 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 plop. Can I tell you what they're thinking? I don't know, but it is true. It's just so. So hopefully that helps you with that, Devin, and answers that question for you. But the explanation is they get up in there and they're seeing a lot of different bait fish. Also in the Delta, when they get down after they've spawned, they're pretty much eating everything. Anything that moves, they're eating on. Whether it's crawdads, bluegill, squawfish, salmon, baby salmon, shiners, shad, anything that moves, they're going for. And sometimes when they get up in the river, they'll key off a little bit. They'll still eat everything, but they're focused on spawning at certain times. So yeah, and the UV flash, yeah, the UV flash can really help in different times. Question: what's my favorite scent for striper? I kind of mix mine up, but it is my sardine cure, and that does have scents mixed in it. So it's kind of a blend, and it's just more fish. It's basically what it is. It's just dried out fish. Sand shrimp, the shrimp family works excellent, and then sardine and anchovy scents work very well for stripers. But again, be careful. And what do I mean by this? With your scent jar, after you buy it, smell it. If it smells like sardines, smells like anchovy, smells like shrimp, you're golden. You're good. But again, it's real bait mixed in there. So if it gets hot, it will go rancid on you. And if you pull off the cap and it's been in your tackle box or in the back of the boat and you smell it and it's rancid, it will hurt you more than help. So be very careful with that. I mean, people are like, oh, it's just a scent bottle. Throw it here, throw it there. All my scent bottles stay in the refrigerator. All my scents are either dried or freeze dried, so they can't go rancid. Because sometimes you'll smell them. If it's been sitting out like on the sack where we fish or the feather, and it's 100+ degrees, right? And I got a bottle of anchovy scent out there, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's a little off. It's done. It went bad. It had real bait in there, and it went bad. If it gets over 80 degrees, 78 degrees, it goes rancid. Just like milk, anything else. So just remember that with scents. But shrimps, sardines, anchovies, those are your top right there. Crawdad works good in the Delta. But again, crayfish, very fragile, especially if you're using real crayfish. And when you can get that, that's awesome to get, but it goes bad quick. But I mean, just tons of great questions. We sure appreciate you guys with all that kind of stuff, So you don't dye the water when fishing minnows, red or blue. Andy had a question out there. I don't personally. I don't dye it. And here's why. If you leave your minnow in the dark or the lid closed, he's lighter color. He turns lighter. If he's out in the sun or he's out in the open, his back turns darker. It's just the natural way of a bait fish hiding. Okay, so the sun's out. If his back's darker, he can be on the bottom. He blends in better. Vice versa. So when I'm fishing minnows, I want them as shiny as I can get them. So I don't put dye in my water. And I'm rotating. Again, it doesn't hurt. You guys can catch fish on it probably all day with blues, greens, reds, whatever you want to do. But I'm fishing. I have on board sometimes 14 dozen minnows. And I'm running water through those, keeping them oxygenated, fresh water. And then at the end of the day, whether I use 6 dozen or 10 dozen, I take the rest out. I put them back in a tank, no light on them, super clean, clear water. And that keeps those gills fresh. It keeps those minnows fresh. The more, what is this, frisky, the more wild that minnow is, the more alive that minnow is, the better he will get bit. Promise you.
Yep.
That vibration, they just can't handle it. That minnow is trying to get away from that striper. The faster he swims, the more bites you're going to get. So I don't put any of that in there, but I know of guys who have and caught plenty of fish. So I don't think it hurts any, but I don't see it helping any. I didn't see it make a difference. We caught fish on them either way. But you're more welcome to put anything, but be careful over time. Those minnows, if you're keeping them long term, that may mess up their gills, may slow them down. And if they slow down, lethargic minnows here, he doesn't get bit. But you got this one over here. It's going all over the place. You get a striper close to him, and he's going to eat it. Anthony Sparks, do you believe in UV flash as beneficial pros and cons? Yes. There's times when UV definitely comes into play. lot for salmon, not as much for stripers for me, but a lot for salmon. I don't use UV on my swim baits because when I'm using opaque, solid colored swim baits, I don't think we need it for the UV flash. I know that guys have cured baits on their lures for salmon, salmon spinners, and they're like, dude, I got bit 6-1 on the UV flash. So it definitely has its place. But striper fishing this time of year, no, don't need it. Don't need it at all. But yeah, so that's cool. But that's kind of the striper rundown for right now. And there's lots of fish to be caught, lots of tons of trout fishing. So let's jump up to kind of we bounced around a little bit here, but let's just jump up to kind of what's hot, what's not, where you can go and get fish right now. So while we're on stripers, let's just cover it. When we already did the Sacramento, the Feather, the Yuba, all have striper opportunities. And a lot of the Sacramento River, all the way up by Butte City and down, you can catch them on the bank. The water's dropping out. It looks really good. You can go down on a gravel bar in the evening, park somewhere, make some cast for a half hour in the evening. Use a big Rebel, use a big diving plug, a glide bait, or even if you see something messing around, or even if the sun's out, fish a topwater. Throw it down towards some snags and pop it through there. You'll be amazed what you can get right now. They're cold, they're sluggish, they're moving slow, but they will eat it. They will eat it. Fish it slow. Pop it a little bit, stop. Pop a little bit, stop. And then if you're in a boat or you're anywhere else, just like we've had several guys on here say, and even on the Delta, soak some bait. Soak some of them sardines out there and whack some fish. And so that's really, really, the fishing's good. It's good right now. It's some of the best wintertime striper fishing I've seen in a lot of years. So that's super cool. Bass fishing still phenomenal on Lake Oroville and Lake Shasta, and those bass on Oroville are getting bigger and bigger. Berryessa is coming out with some New Melonas, and Bullard's Bar is kicking out some monsters. Some of those guys go over there at this time of year and catch them on. So if you're a spotted bass guy and love to get bass, go over there, fish a little slow, Ned rigs, drop shots, that kind of stuff. Small Kitex, even little A rigs, little A rigs with little Kitex on them are just money right now. And the fish are big and they're healthy and they're clean. Wintertime bass look so clean. They're so nice and they're so perfect. They're just an awesome species. I really love those spotted bass. They taste good and they fight good and everything about them is good. So we let a lot of them go, but we still keep a few too to bread them up. We also have a breading, in our arsenal of tackle and tips and tricks. We have a breading for white fish, strippers, things like that. So yeah, pretty cool. Lots of questions tonight. Rods. Let's talk about rods a little bit, Stoney. And you know what? We're going to jump. We were talking about what's hot, what's not. Collins Lake still producing a lot of trout. You can get them from the bank. You can get them out in the boat trolling. Collins Lake has been great. So that kind of covers those areas. Catfish. I talked to some guys, that had been fishing over at Berryessa. He showed me pictures.
There's big ones there.
I'm like, okay, no, this guy is just like, he's just being a fisherman. And that's cool. We're telling stories, right? It's cool. We're all fishermen. He showed me the pictures. Stringers over his shoulder. I'm like, here? He's like, oh yeah, here. I'm like, wow, that's impressive. That's pretty cool. There's some catfish we caught. And then I'm unloading all the stuff. We talked to several people at Catfish, and he bought some Kick 'em Apollo stuff too. He's like, this is going to be good for, our chicken livers. You take your chicken liver and just shake it on there. We're going to do a how-to on that in 2 weeks. Next week, we won't because I'll still be messing around out of state. But in 2 weeks, we're going to do a how-to on how to cure with Kick 'em Apollo. We need to do that because it's not a bait. It's just an enhancer. It's just like adding your favorite. You got this beautiful steak and you're putting it on the barbecue and you just want to add just a little bit of something just to enhance it, right? Just to make that flavor pop. And that's what it does. And you just take that bite, and that first couple bites, you're just like, oh, that's so good, you know? And that's what that catfish is doing. And he's just hanging on longer, and he ain't going to let go, and you get the hook in him. So
it's like putting a whole lot of Lowry's on it.
Whole lot of Lowry's. Well, I like Lowry's.
Me too.
No, Lowry's is good. You know, it's not kick 'em a pow level for a catfish, but Lowry's is good. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's equivalent, right? You put Lowry's, you put kick 'em a pow, and the catfish go crazy. Lowry's, I go crazy. It's all good.
Go. There you go. It is good. So the catfish thing on Clear Lake, and I'm not talking about little catfish. I'm talking about big catfish and big bass on Clear Lake. Clear Lake is a place to go if you haven't been there before. Clear Lake is incredible. The amount of crappie and big bass. I mean, I'm seeing feeds and stuff right now of guys getting 7, 8, 10 pounders. So like bass, okay, monster crappie up to a couple pounds and some bigger, and catfish. And I'm going to give that over to you, Stoney.
Now the catfish bite at Clear Lake is great. Going into November, December, January, February, you're getting monster catfish. We just finished up the Catfish Bash and beginning of the month, the 9th and 10th. I think it was the 10th. And we had the biggest bag limit. There's a 3-fish bag limit. We had 70 pounds of weight in the bag, the biggest we've ever had. And the biggest fish ever caught in a tournament was 30 pounds. So it's on fire. In fact, if you're into catfishing and you watch this, is go onto Facebook, look under the Catfish Bash, or go to myoldfartsfishing.com on the web if you're not a Facebook person. But there should be flyers out there for the Catfish Bash coming up March 7th, one-day tournament. If you have never fished it, it's a blast. I see a lot of guys online that have fished it, and it's for as little as $150 a team. You can get in and have a great time of catfishing. I've been bugging Kevin to get out there, get your boat, go do one day of catfishing, have some fun.
I know it, man.
Just do it.
Those big old fish, it just looks awesome, you know.
And it's a Saturday. It's not a Sunday. You won't miss church. You're good.
It's I know it. I mean, it's a big deal. And those are big catfish.
Oh yeah.
And we all love to catch fish. I mean, that's why we're doing it. I mean, you know, the tug is the drug. We all like it, you know. We all love catching fish, and we're kind of in this together. And I love this age of where we're at with telecommunication. And I think it's a positive thing if you use it in a positive way, because we're giving out information and people help us and we help you. And you're like, hey, go over to this cove or go over to that cove or whatever it may be, or try the chicken liver or try the striper tail or the swim bait. People will come by me and I'll be like, hey, you know, we're whacking. And I'm like, dude, put a chartreuse one on. Whatever, you got one? If you don't have one, I'll throw you one. Put a chartreuse one on. And all of a sudden they're like, bang, bang. You know, I mean, it's like people sharing information is how we all learn, and it helps everybody. And fish swim. They don't all stay in the same place, and not the same pattern works every day, day in and day out. The guys who fish every day will be consistent, and that's it. That's just how it goes. You know, we're flying time. The support we had at the show, thank you, thank you, and thank you. Thank you to all. We had young and old people in our boat, old clients, new clients. We had kids, we had ladies, we had dudes, we had people that, you know, are like, well, no. We had everyone buying fishing rods, guides coming in, buying fishing rods from us, tackle, getting stuff, getting information. And it really, really, that was a good show for us. It was a good show for us. It was really good. So thank you for that. Now, a couple of days ago, I put a post on, and to me, it's something normal. My normal life is this. I guide, we manufacture baits, we fall asleep thinking about fish, we wake up thinking about fish. But every month, to keep me going, to keep me alive, I get 2 infusions. Okay, every month. I have to do that. It's part of my maintenance. I'm in remission, which is awesome, but you know, we can't let it come back. So, seriously, right here. And I did a thing. Here's what they did. They put a port in, always, and this is called a power port. And so this goes in. They put the medicine right here. They infuse it in. There's a tube. It goes up over my collarbone, down into my left atrium, down to my heart, pumps through my body. It's way easier than going through veins. And I've been doing this for almost 8 years now. So we were from Cytoxin. And if you've ever been on Cytoxin, my heart goes out to you because it sucks. Chemo fog tears you down, wipes you out, feels like your insides are burning out. I've been there. I get a total of 26 infusions a year. Every 6 months, I get a Rituxim infusion. Now that's the actual medicine, chemo. The other one's an IVIG. Okay, so it's just IG. IV comes through the IV. IG means it's just a bunch of good cells that are all mixed through blood, and it's all just good stuff for you to reboot your body. Okay, because all my cells because of my condition, my cells get wiped out. So we posted something the other day that's real. This is real talk, with Kevin Brock. Okay, this is real talk with Kevin. So the real talk is God saved me. Okay, the real talk is I got to have medicine to stay alive. That's the reality. That's life. I'm okay. I'm still going, but I post things like that once in a while, just to let people know that my heart goes out to you if you're going through something. I know I've been laying on a bed where I couldn't even get up. I was in a wheelchair. If you're feeling down, man, look to God. Look to God. Only going to just pray. Just give it all up. Just give it all away because it's His anyway. Just whatever you can do. I do it for encouragement. So I'm okay and I'm going to keep going. But I've done it for so long. People look at you and they think, oh, well, you're healed. You're better now. No, I'm not healed. But medicine and God is keeping me going. And this fishing and this industry and helping people out at the show and having kids come up and grab stuff and meeting cool people and having all these different comments and people are, it's good. It's good. Life is good. It doesn't have to be negative. And you know what? We're going to take our fishing skills and we're going to bring positive to everybody else. We had a great turnout for the Kokanee seminar. We appreciate all of you that came there. A great turnout for the show. I mean, yeah, it's just good. It's just all real good. And we're just going to keep going until we can't anymore. And we just keep pushing forward. So if you're struggling, on your smartphone, just be like, I need an encouraging verse for the day. I just need some encouragement. And Siri will pop up. Check this out. Hey, Siri. I need an encouraging verse from the Bible. All right, so you can hit it, and boom, right there, 15 encouraging verses from the Bible. Look at this. So I'll just start with this one right here. John 16:33. The creator of the world, God, right, says this. In the world, you will have tribulation. It's going to hit the fan. It's not going to be easy. It never says it was going to be easy. Tribulation means it's going to suck. You're going to have some problems. But here's the positive part. But take heart. I have overcome the world. That's just a little encouragement right there. You got a little bit there. It's okay if no matter finances, relationships, health, depression, addiction, anything like any of that stuff, there's always hope. There's always, always, always hope. And nothing new is under the sun. It says that in the Bible too. So nothing that you're going through, someone else down the line hasn't dealt with too. Maybe not your same situation, but people feel pain and it's out there. And if you open up and you're like, Stony, dude, I hurt. This sucks, man. I went through this, whatever happened to me. And you're like, dude, I went through the same thing, but I made it through. It gives you a little encouragement. It gets you through that moment of the day of what you have. You don't have yesterday, and you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but you have that moment. You have this moment. But yeah, I mean, our hour has flown by so fast.
It flew by.
I mean, just and all we're doing is being grateful and talking about fishing. How cool is that?
Yeah.
How cool is that? And we do respect everyone's time. That's why we try to be on time ourselves, and we try to cut our time. So again, thank you for all the comments. Don't forget to like Old Farts Fishing and watch the videos. We got tons of stuff on there. Go to fishkevinbrock.com for any type of information, how-tos, fishing rods, online store, all that. Man, Warren, we got so many cool things going on. Who else do we need to mention? All the tackle shops that support us. The Tackle Box in Chico, you can get all the stuff. You can get on and do the Catfish Bash with Stoney. All this. I mean, comments just keep coming in. I can't even answer them all. We love you all. It's Thursday night. It's 8 o'clock.
It is 8 o'clock.
I don't know about calling you Little John yet, but we're gonna figure out this Robin. we're gonna take from the big fishing industries and we're gonna give back to the guy, the average guy, so he can have better products. So we're the Robin Hood of the fishing industry.
Figure I'm not wearing tights. I'm telling you that.
No, no, nor am I. And you're not going to look good in tights, my friend.
No. So thank you all for calling in, and don't forget we have a podcast, Fishing with Stoney Stone, on Monday nights at 7 o'clock on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. And check in for that. And on my podcast, I've got guides that call in and give a fishing report, which we just started this week. So thank you, Golden State Sport Fishing, Kyle Weiss. And who else did I have? I had 3 fishing reports. Oh, Nate. Big Nate called in as well. So we'll be trying to get guides to call in and give fishing reports. And Kevin as well. When Kevin gets out there and starts driving fishing, he'll be on my podcast giving a fishing report.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And we're almost out. And I'm just going to push the limit here 1 more minute. So in that encouraging verses, right?
Yep.
I just wrote down one more. It's Isaiah 41:10. And it says, so do not fear, for I am with you. God's with you. So don't fear. Do not dismay, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. He'll help you out. Just ask for it.
Just ask.
Yeah. It's the creator of the universe. There's no better love story. All right.
Till next week.
Till next week.
God bless.
We're keeping it real. Love you all.